Hi, good morning students. Hope you are all fine. In the previous class we have discussed about the poem The Last Bargain written by Rabindranath Tagore. From that what we have learned? We learned that power, money, fairness, beauty, nothing will be giving happiness or satisfaction. Isn't it? That's the last bargain summary. And I've come to the next lesson, that is the Summit Within, written by Major HPS Ahluwalia. Ahluwalia, here the spelling is Ahluwalia, but H is silent. So we have to pronounce it as Ahluwalia. Major HPS. HPS means Haripal Singh Ahluwalia. And now it's time for title justification. Title justification, the summit within. What is the summit? The highest peak or a point of a mountain is called a summit. Summit means the highest peak or a point, and within, inside us. Okay, here Major HPS Ahluwalia, he wrote his autobiography because total addressing is I think I went like this. With his friends, he went mountaineering. Along with his friends, he climbed Mount Everest. And his experiences he discussed in our lesson. Not only that, not only the self-satisfaction that reaching to the height, reaching to the mountain is very close quarters, is a communion with God. Is a communion with God. He feels more than that, nothing. Again coming down only. So communicating to God and communion to God. But than that, still more, the summits will be there in our heart, within us. So how to overcome there? Ever, 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 never give up. It is also his slogan, internal slogan. Understood? Now we can learn more about the author.
Major Haripal Singh Ahluwalia was a member of the first successful Indian expedition to Mount Everest in 1965. He climbed the Mount Everest on 29th May 1965 along with his friends Rawat and Dorji. In the Indo-Pakistan War of 1965, he was injured and confined to a wheelchair. He is the recipient of several awards like Padma Bhushan, Arjun Award, the National Award for the best work done in the field of disability. He won the Tenzing Norway National Adventure Award for Lifetime Achievement on August 29, 2009. He has written several books like Higher Than Everest, Beyond the Himalayas, and Everest is Within You. Why people climb the mountain? Man takes delight in overcoming obstacles. It presents great difficulties. Mountains are means of communication with God. There are three qualities that played a major role in the climbing mountain. What are they? The first one, endurance. Second one, persistence. The third one is willpower. Climbing high mountains is a difficult task, but man feels great in overcoming difficulties. Mountain climbing tests one's physical strength and willpower, as I said just now. The success is followed by a sense of fulfillment or satisfaction. It is a proof for man's love for adventure.
Now open the textbook and come to page number 75. The lesson, The Summit Within, written by Major HPS Ahluwalia. Now the first paragraph. Of all the emotions which surged through me as I stood on the summit of Everest, looking over miles of panorama below us, the dominant one, I think, was humility. The physical in me seemed to say, Thank God it's all over. However, instead of being jubilant, there was a tinge of sadness. Was it because I had already done the ultimate in climbing and there would be nothing higher to climb and all roads hereafter would lean down? That is the first paragraph. And here you please note down the meanings. Okay, textual meaning they have given: surged, arose suddenly and intensely. And next, panorama, view of a wide angle or wide area, jubilant, very happy. And still more, humility, the quality of being a modest. Okay. Next, tinge, rays or shade. All the meanings we got it. Here the author begins his story saying that he mounted the Everest, isn't it? He climbed the Mount Everest. The huge panorama, what he observed, it's very good view for him it seems, and climbing up to the top made him feel happy, jubilant. Jubilant means just now radiant or very much happy. At the same time, very close quarters to God. Good communication to God it seems. Feeling proud and happiest and joyous. Enjoy, not enjoy, joy. Feeling happy and joyous to see the view. And why he was so happy? This is the ultimate thing what he had done. The last, he has completed it. Isn't it? Now come to the second paragraph. By climbing the summit of Everest, you are overwhelmed by a deep sense of joy and thankfulness. It is a joy which lasts a lifetime. The experience changes you completely. The man who has been to the mountains is never the same again. See what he was saying? A man who has been to mountains is never be the same, because he'll have some experiences, some hurdles he'll cross, some things he'll overcome with overwhelming joy, with all forceful emotional effects, and then he'll come to know. So he's somewhat different. For example, a person in this COVID season who attacked with corona after this quarantine time or 3 months, he will be having some change in his diet, in his way of behavior. If, for example, a person, a rich man, or else a proudish personality who suffered with corona, he thinks that no one comes near to him. He himself should motivate, praying God. Then his proudness, his selfishness, his jealousness, everything will come to zero. Come down, that's it. Then he will realize what is the world, what I am taking care of. Can I take anything from this world? Nothing. Isn't it? Then he'll start serving the need, serving the poor. Got it? Some change. In the same manner, here in the present lesson also, a person who visited the Mount Everest, who climbed, he won't be the same it seems. As I look back at life after climbing Everest, I cannot help remarking about the other summit. The summit of the mind, no less formidable and no easier to climb. So after climbing Mount Everest, he was so happy. He thought that it is communion with God, very nice. Everything is acceptable. And now he was thinking, then what next? What next in the sense? Still several fears we will have in our mind, in our mindset, in our way of thinking. For example, some people still they have stage fear. Still they cannot talk or any subjects, whatnot. Several steps we have. That's why the quotation also, failures are the stepping stones for success. Isn't it? Most of them they will encourage. Not just criticizing, but sometimes we have to encourage. Now here he was saying there are the summit. Okay, the peak point. Now come to the next page. Even when getting down from the summit, once the physical exhaustion had gone, I began asking myself the question, Why I had climbed Everest? Why did the act of reaching the summit have such a hold on my imagination? It was already a thing of the past, something done yesterday. With every passing day, it would become more remote. With every passing day, it would become more remote, it seems. When he taken a decision to climb mountains, why only Everest, Alps, and several mountains are there? Why only Everest? Because it is the summit, the highest point. If you want to take a risk, go with obstacle, overcome it like that. Here he has taken the Everest. Because it is the highest. The answer is given here itself. The mightiest and has defied many previous attempts. Many of them they'll start, they'll make a move, and some of them they'll be coming down, and some of them will be no more in the snow. It also happens. Very less members who have the highest dedication in their heart and who overcome the obstacles while climbing, isn't it? They will reach the target. They will go ahead to the open challenge to see the beauty, to enjoy the nature created by God. It takes the last ounce of one's energy, what it seems, last breath like thing, last ounce of the energy it will take. It is a brutal struggle with rock and ice. It's not all that easy just saying something or now my explanation or just reading the textbook. It's not all that easy. It's continuous fight with rock and ice systems. Brutal struggle. That's the word given. Brutal struggle. Once taken up, it cannot be given up halfway. Halfway given up, some of them will be dropping in the sense there will be no more there. They can't come down. Once taken up, it cannot be given up halfway, even when one's life is at stake. Even your life is in a danger, you can't come back. The passage back is as difficult as the passage onwards. The passage back is same equal to reaching top. School to home. Same distance, home to school also, same distance, no, the same thing here. Going top is such a difficult task with rock and ice. The same manner coming down, it's also the same. And then when the summit is climbed, there is the acceleration. Acceleration in the sense exciting position. The joy of having done something. Yahoo! Eureka! These all words, exclamatory words we'll be using when we achieve something unexpectedly. The sense of battle fought and won. What is that it seems? These all expressions is a sense of battle what we have won. There is a feeling of victory and happiness, overwhelmed joys. Is that? Jubilant in the previous page, page number 75, they have used the word. Glimpsing a peak in the distance, I get transported to another world. Means what happened? Glimpsing, there the peak, the Everest peak is there. Pointing the Everest peak, they have transported to another world, it seems. I experience a change within myself. There are still only few paces to reach the peak. Then he experienced difference in his body, in his mindset, in his way of thinking. Now come to page number 77, which can only be called mystical. Mystical means spiritual. Mystical means what? He has given the meaning to the right column on the top. Spiritual. By its beauty. Why spiritual? By its beauty. That's why he said it is a communion with God, reaching God, taking word from God and standing by the word, communion. By its beauty, aloofness, might, ruggedness, and the difficulties encountered on the way, the peak draws me to it as Everest did. It is a challenge that is difficult to resist. What type of challenge it is? It is a challenge that is difficult to resist. We can't stop. We have to achieve. We have to come to the last peak point. Understood? That is the summary of it here. And the next half of page number 77, we can continue now. Come to next paragraph from page number 77 of your textbook. Looking back, I find that I have not yet fully explained why I climbed Everest. It is like answering a question why you breathe. See how silly it is. Here the Major Ahluwalia is sharing with us that till now half of the lesson completed, but still he was asking, till now I didn't say why I have climbed Mount Everest. Isn't it? He was asking, it is like just saying that why you are breathing or why you are taking breath. Why do you help your neighbor? Why do you want to go to do good deeds or good acts? There is no final answer possible. See, these are all questions. Why are you living? Or what do you want to do? Why are you doing a good acts or good deeds? Why are you helping a neighbor? Why do you have a kind heart? I can add these things. These type of sensible questions, no answers from him. And there is no final answer possible. Something you may see some answers, but final answer which is possible. Possible means linking, logical. He can't. And then there is the fact that Everest is not just a physical climb. The man who has been to the mountain top, becomes conscious in a special manner of his own smallness in this large universe. In this large universe, he will become a tiny personality. Whenever you take a flight, starting an airport, okay, when it's on a runway, when your is ready to take off, slowly it will go on wheels. Then once it takes its flight, its take off, then everything will be tiny. When it is up, everything will be tiny in size, right? Now here, he also feels the same. This totals the smallest in this large universe, it seems. The physical conquest means here conquering. The physical conquest of a mountain is only one part of the achievement. Yeah, what is the target? Climbing Mount Everest. So, overcoming all the obstacles he may climb. It is not all that easy. It is continuous fight with rock and ice. After that, communion with God, sharing thoughts, sharing ideas, talking with God. It's like that, isn't it? That is called communion. Taking a word also. And now, there is more to it than that. There is more to it than that. What more than not only here climbing the mountain, than that still more obstacles we'll be having. We can see what. It is followed by a sense of fulfillment. There is the satisfaction of a deep urge to rise above one's surroundings. After climbing that, feeling unhappy, why I came here, if such ideas or such thoughts, if anyone have, they won't start climbing. They won't start climbing to Mount Everest as taking it as a target challenging. It is the eternal love for adventure in man. In us, it should be an adventure that I'm climbing. So those dedicated personalities, the personalities who have fully optimistic nature, not only that, overcoming the obstacles, that such personalities will climb and will achieve, because they will be supporting themselves, they will be moralizing themselves in what? Never, ever, ever give up, come, go, get, set, in such manner. It is eternal love for adventure in man. The experience is not merely physical, it is emotional, it is spiritual. That is the reason after reaching to the peak point, the summit, communion with God, talking with God spiritually, isn't it? Consider a typical climb towards the summit on the last heights. You are sharing a rope with another climber. So compulsory, you should have a good report with your neighbor? Isn't it good understanding with your neighbor? The reason here he is giving, you are sharing a rope with another climber. You firm, you have to believe. Firm in the sense here, make yourself firm. Yes, if he drops me down or if he do something harm to me, if that is your suspicion, we can't do anything or you can't reach your goal climbing up the Mount Everest. So you have to trust him. No other way. You should be firm. He cuts the steps in the hard ice. Then he belays, he fixes a rope, belays in the sense, and you inch your way up. So inch by inch, you need some other support. Of course, he too needs your support, but you have to trust your neighbor. Without that, he can't achieve. So the summits within, these also we have to achieve. The climber's grim, tough task, and you strain every nerve as you take every step. You strain every nerve, you totally physical hardness, hardships, you have to work out. You have to go, you have to overcome. Famous climbers have left records of the help given by others. What happened? Famous climbers till now, the past one, whoever climbed the mountains, they have hold a record and they kept a record. This is the pattern. These precautions you have to take. This care you have to take. In this manner you have to go. This is the easiest way. These all are already set up. But apart from that, you have to make a move. They have also recorded how they needed guests with help. Just that help, how to take the help also they have recorded since. Else they might have given up. Maybe sometimes they have given up also, they didn't reach. These are all the history of the mountaineering personalities. And then breathing is difficult. The main crucial thing is the breathing will be difficult because you are going to 8,000 meters high apart from the sea level. You curse yourself for having let yourself in for this. Yeah, why I have taken this? Why I have taken this decision? Why should I climb up? So you will be cursing yourself. Even though still you have to motivate yourself, isn't it? You wonder why you were undertook the ascent. Means, why I have taken this? Why should I? Why I have taken this decision? My friend is going, why I should be at back of him. No, it's not correct on my part. Something I have to do, something. What is this something here? There are moments when you feel like going back. Now itself I have to make a move, nothing. I can't go up, I can't do. Because your body will be saying that, come down, go away. Since the parents, teachers will be saying, you please read, you have to get strength, please read, work hard, get up early to bed, early to rise, you work out. But yeah, you will be initiative and you take it as a supportive and with all the moral values, inspiration from your parents and teachers. But when time comes, automatically get sleep. Means practicality, you'll be getting sleep. But immediately, you have to motivate yourself, remembering all the hardships taken by your parents and teachers, and you have to work out, you have to read. And here, it would be sheer relief to go down. It is very easy to think like that, to go down instead of up. But practically, just now, in the previous passages we have discussed, what we have discussed, it is a fight with rock and rice. The going up, how much tough task. Going down is also the same tough task. But almost at once you snap out of that mood, it will be so easy. Once if you come out of that mood, no, and you should never give up. My body is saying to go down, but I should not. My mental, spiritual things, I have to make a move and I have to achieve the success. I have to face this challenge, overcome the obstacles. Yeah. So, motivating yourself, you can come out of that mode. There is something in you that does not let you give up. There is something in you that let not give up the struggle, it seems. Sometimes the struggle, you have to overcome the struggle. Sometimes it doesn't let you to overcome it. Not only the Mount Everest, but something in you. And you go on. And you go on. Your companion keeps up with you. Just another 50 feet. So your friend, your neighbor, or co-traveler, he'll be saying, just 50 feet. Just 50. Just make a move. So he'll be encouraging you. Automatically you have to start moving, it seems. Or 100, 50 feet or 100 maybe. Just he'll be encouraging you positively. You ask yourself, is there no end? You look at your companion and he looks at you. He looks at you. You look at him and he looks at you. You draw inspiration from each other. Both of them will be encouraging on both ends. Yeah, just 50. Oh, no, just 100. Let's make them like that. Encouraging on both ends with the optimistic nature. And then, without first being aware of it, you're at the summit. So, for just 50, just 100, just slowly you'll be going encouraged by your friend or your neighbor. Automatically you'll reach the summit. Looking round from the summit, you tell yourself that it was worthwhile. Looking round, once you reach the summit, means the highest peak point of a mountain. Other one, once you achieved, you taste the first rank, district first, state first, isn't it? Once if you get that rank or taste that experience, then from that end we can enjoy the rest. You can see the praises raining upon you or showering upon you, applauses elsewhere, your parents, your teachers, your friends, your well-wishers, your relatives, your neighbors, whatnot, who not, everyone. So other silvery peaks appear through the clouds. Not only that, when you observe the Himalayan mountains and all, silvery mountains, silvery, your peaks appear around, it seems, through the clouds. If you're lucky, the sun may be on them. Sometimes, if you're lucky, the sun also you can see there. The surrounding peaks look like a jewel necklace, it seems. It's all about when you are on the summit, that is on Mount Everest, then you can observe. What you can observe? Silvery peaks around the clouds. If you will be lucky when you see a sun there. Not only that, the total thing will be like what you are seeing here. The peaks look like a jewel necklace, it seems, around the neck of your summit. Below you see vast valleys sloping into the distance. Below what you will be seeing, vast valleys floating there. Vast valleys sloping into your distance. Somewhere they will be going up. It is an ennobling, enriching experience to just look down the summit of a mountain. So, how it will be? The valleys flowing to some distance. It is like enriching, means very great and force nature and experience to just look down from the summit of a mountain. From top, we can see everything. We can enjoy. See, for example, you are staying in an apartment, going to the terrace, then you can see the road, the traffic, the buses, the people running by. Isn't it? So from there you can enjoy, not from your first floor or third floor. Here also from the summit you can enjoy everything. Got everything. Remaining peaks, silvery peaks, the clouds, and also the sun if you are lucky. And not only that, this all seems like a jewel necklace, what he says. Okay, you bow down and make your obeisance to whichever God you worship. Whichever God you worship, you please bow down and say, thank God. It is the position of conveying gratitude. Show your submission to God. Thank God, you made me here. You are the creator. You have created all these things. Whichever God you worship, you say this after reaching to the summit. I left on Everest a picture of Guru Nanak. Here, Major Haripal Singh Ahluwalia, what happened when he reached to the peak of the Mount Everest? He left there, what he left? A picture of Guru Nanak itself. Rawat left a picture of goddess Durga, the other companion means his friend. Dorji left a relic of the Buddha. He also kept Buddha there, it seems. Edmund Hillary has buried a cross under a cairn, means a heap of rocks and stones. Edmund Henry, what he has done, it seems. Edmund Hillary, what he has done, he put a cross there in the snow. There is in the snow, the rocks and stones. These are not symbols of conquest but of reverence. These are not symbols. Yes, we have achieved. I have kept a cross. Yes, we have achieved. I kept a Buddha statue or Guru Nanak picture. Not that. It is not out of their achievement but out of reverence, out of great respect. Yeah. God made us to achieve this. Okay, reverence. The experience of having climbed to the summit changes you completely. In the first paragraph we have discussed, it's not all that easy. The mindset of the personality who achieved the summit, having communion with God, his mental status will be totally different, no doubt in it. Okay. And then what happened here? There is another summit, it seems. Here he is talking very seriously. We have to observe and we have to take to hearts. What is it? There is another summit. It is within yourself, within me, within you. It is in your own mind, own thinking. Each man carries within himself his own mountain peaks. Each man carries within himself his own mountain peaks. It seems not only the Mount Everest or remaining Everest peaks, Silvery peaks and all, Alps mountains, whatnot, you all keep it aside. But in your heart, you'll be having mountain peaks, financial mountain peaks. Yeah, I'm not having job, I'm not getting rank, isn't it? Several hurdles, several things you'll be having. You in the sense, human being. It may be you or it may be me. And he must climb to reach them, isn't it? A fuller knowledge of himself. What is my potentiality? How far I can work out? So, can I achieve it for 25%? Yeah. You taste first 25%, then slowly increase. Never, ever give up. Slowly. You are a slow learner. Your marks are 20 out of 80. That's the destination? No. Automatically, from 20, 25, slowly 30 or 40. Gradually you can come to 75. Isn't it? You can taste the success. And now, it is fearful and unscalable. Unscalable means here you can't measure it. And it is fearful, so you'll be frightened, you'll be scared. But you have to achieve. Only you can achieve because it is your problem. It is within you. Isn't it? The mountain peak is within you. The others, they can't understand, but maybe they may give a moral support, but finally you have to achieve it. It cannot be climbed by anyone else. Just know it cannot be climbed by anyone, just they can give a moral support. You yourself have to do it, no doubt. The physical act of climbing to the summit of a mountain, outside is akin to the act of climbing the mountain within. Okay, isn't it what he was saying, the point here? See, the physical act of climbing mountain, okay, with someone's help, someone moral support, you're achieving. But here, the act of climbing the mountain within is also like that. There'll be your friends or your heart will be motivating you. Yes, I can. That positive nature should be there. You have to develop. The effects of both the climbs are the same. Both the climbs are same. One climb, the first climb is the first one. What it is? Climbing the mountain peak. The second one, overcoming your obstacle in your heart. By all means, anything. Okay, sometimes you can talk with your friends, you may not talk with your relatives. Sometimes you can talk with your friends, you can't talk with your parents or relatives. I'm talking about the way you behave. The other way, you may get good marks in mathematics, in some other subject you may not get, you may not achieve. So, how to overcome it? These are all the summits within. We have to overcome. What is my potentiality? Where I am losing marks? What I am not understanding? What the hard work I am doing for it? So, the best thing is when you know your mistakes and if you overcome it by your hard work. Finish. Then you can say that you have achieved the summit in your or within you. Okay. Whether the mountain you climb is physical or emotional or spiritual, the climb will certainly change you. It teaches you much about the world and about yourself. So, what else? The climb you take, it may be physical, emotional, spiritual. What else you decision? I want to be for 2 days fasting. Okay, I want to take 2 days fasting. Well and good, 48 hours, well and good. But after 1 hour, I'm feeling sultry, thirsty, hungry, unable to control myself, rolling down, dropping down. Finish. There ends the matter. You are targeted for 48 hours, not even an hour or 1.5 hours. You are bouncing back. No. If you take a physical climb or emotional climb or spiritual climb, it will teach you what the world is. Or what about you? Did you understand the world properly, or the world is understanding you? Or what about you, first of all? No, what are you? The greatest achievement or the greatest discovery, lifetime knowing about you, changing you, and presenting yourself in a new way. Understood? Know yourself. That's enough. Not knowing others, not knowing about them, commenting them, doing some mimicry on them, nothing. What about me? Still more. What are my plus points? What are my minus points? How can I rectify them? That's a good nature. I venture to think my experiences as an Everester has provided me with the inspiration to face life's ordeals, means painful experiences. If you have an experience, the painful experiences, you can enjoy the fruits. A small seed you sow and then you plant it, became a sapling, then a plant, then a tree, then you are nurturing it, nourishing it, isn't it? Pouring water and pesticides or else organic pesticides, what not. Later on, bearing fruits, enjoying fruits. First, hard work is there, isn't it or not? Without that, you can't get anything. In such a manner, here what you are saying, I venture to think my experience as an Everester has provided me with inspiration to face life ordeals resolutely, it seems. Means with determination or firmness. See, within a couple of days, what will happen? We will be taking New Year resolutions. Before taking 2021 resolutions, just think about 2020 resolution what you have taken on January 1st last year. Means the starting on Jan 1st 2020 what you have taken resolution. Did you follow this to this last month, last days? God knows. You to know. Then again you all will be ready to take next year resolution. What is the resolution? Strong determination and firmness. Yes, you have taken, in the sense you have to follow, you have to do it at any cost. Whatever obstacles comes in your life, you have to work out, isn't it? Climbing the mountain was a worthwhile experience. This sentence is there from the beginning. The conquest of the internal summit is equally worthwhile. The internal summits are perhaps higher than Everest. The internal summits, what you were saying, perhaps they are higher than Mount Everest. So, the author here, Major Haripal Singh Ahluwalia, is saying that to achieve the summits means physically Mount Everest, emotionally or spiritually, what else you have taken decision. These are much harder than Mount Everest to overcome them. For example, if you take a decision that I should never lie, if you have taken a New Year resolution, but on that day only 10 times you lied. See how silly, how funny. So it is not a resolution even, as a strong determination. But once you take anything, you have to fix to it or you have to stick to it. Okay, never ever give up. Success you can enjoy.
The writer says there is another summit to climb. It is within ourselves. Means yourself, your own mind, or our own mind. The most difficult task is to know oneself. One has to do it alone and oneself. The Everest experience inspired the writer to face life boldly. So, never, ever, ever give up. You please take it as a note.
Thank you.